We're staying in our xrefs.dwg file, and as you can see, our property line external reference file is still attached to the xrefs.dwg file as well. What we're going to look at now is creating what is called clipping boundaries with our Xref files. Now you'll notice in the Insert tab on the ribbon there is the ability here to clip, and that clips a block, an externally referenced file or viewport to a specified boundary. And that's a slightly more complex way of doing things. What you'll find is there's a really nice and quick and easy way to do this. You simply select the external reference file, and you'll notice we now have a clipping panel on the external reference tab on the ribbon. So I can create a clipping boundary really quickly and easily. And it allows me to delete any old clipping boundary and create a new one. So if I click on Create Clipping Boundary now and come into the drawing area, I've got the option of selecting a polyline that might have been drawn as a boundary, or I can create a polygonal boundary, a rectangular boundary, and I can also invert the clip as well. I'm going to go for polygonal, like so, and I'm literally going to make sure that my polar tracking is on. That's always useful. I'm going to set that to 45-degree increments, and just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to click here, and as I come around, I'm going to use my polar tracking here just to create a clipping boundary. So I'm going to come down here like so, let's say to there, come down here at 45 degrees and come across again like so, like that. And then click there, come vertically up to there, click there and press enter to finish. And as you can see, it's created a clipping boundary. You'll notice that the Xref has been clipped. You can only see the Xref inside the clipping boundary. Now here's the really nice, quick and easy bit. I can now click on this little arrow here and invert the X-clip boundary. And as you can see, I can now see the other part of the Xref, the property line. If I click again, it brings it back again, like so. It's a really useful function, especially if you only want to see part of the external reference file. Now, the lovely thing is as well, is I can actually remove that clipping boundary just by clicking like so on the Remove Clipping command in the clipping panel. I'm going to hit Escape now a couple of times. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the Home tab on the ribbon, and I'm going to go to Layer 0, which is all the way at the top here, like so. What I'm going to do now is draw a polyline, and that's going to be my clipping boundary. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle. There's my rectangle there on the draw panel. And I'm going to literally just place a rectangle to about there, like that. So there's my rectangle. If I now select the Xref again and go back to Create Clipping Boundary and come into the drawing area, I can select the polyline. So if I select that polyline now, that becomes my clipping boundary. And again, you'll notice there's the arrow. I can flip it. There's one part of the Xref. Flip it again. There's the other part of the Xref, like so. And again, I can remove the clipping boundary, but the polyline remains. So the polyline can then potentially be moved. So if I select the polyline, right click and move on the shortcut menu, and what we'll do, we'll use this corner here. Notice it's moving the Xref as well. Be careful. Hit escape a couple of times there. You only want to move that. So it's a right click and move. Don't move the Xref. That will cause all different types of problems. So if I go this way and I'm going to put it there, like that. Select the Xref again. Create a clipping boundary. Select polyline and click here. And can you see it clips again with the polyline? And I can flip it and show either side of that polyline as the clipping boundary. I can then go remove clipping, and it removes the clipping boundary. Hit escape, remember that, to deselect the Xref, and then obviously delete the polyline, and you're back to where we were at the beginning. So you can see those clipping boundaries are incredibly useful if you don't need to see all of the detail of an external reference file that is attached to your host drawing.